Now let's talk about the difference between global versus local energy systems. So global energy systems, I'll use an example that may help the most. So let's say you have somebody that is an endurance athlete. They are trained to be a marathoner. And they're a great marathoner and they're doing fantastic in there. And you take that marathoner and you put them in a distance race, because they're a distance athlete, put them in a distance race, but in swimming. Right? Now what's going to happen in that race a lot of times, if they haven't trained to swim, they're going to be using a different group of muscles. So their global system, their heart, their lungs, things like that, that's all been trained very well. The problem's going to be when you look at their local systems. Their local systems would be, for instance, when you're looking at the marathon, the local systems that would be used would be, for instance, the legs, right? That's probably where they had most of their emphasis when they're running. However, in swimming, a long distance freestyle race, for instance, it would be in your arms. So they're going to get exhausted right away, even though they've got great global potential for delivery, right, throughout their cardiovascular system. The arms aren't built to be able to handle it because they weren't trained to handle it. So at the local level, it can't accept the energy that could be delivered from the global. Right? And sometimes you have the locals that are trained better, but the globals aren't developed enough. So the difference between global and local. And so what we'll be doing generally in your swim training is generally being trained mostly global, but you'll also see it, depending on which race. So that's why you want to kind of specify which race and which event that you're trying to train for, so you can get your locals trained properly for that event. Now we're going to move on to the 3